If you were to ask anyone earlier this year what the biggest fighting game release of the year was going to be, Marvel Tokon had a very good chance of being their answer. A new Marvel fighting game by an absolutely beloved fighting game developer with an art style so beautiful it could possibly draw in thousands of casuals. The fusions of characters that people love mixed with the distinct Eastern inspirations and new outfits for better and... honestly, for better. Got so many people excited for this game. If you don't like the new Spidey suit, by the way, grow up. Marvel Tokon was set up from the beginning to be a smash success. A brand new era for fighting games was going to be unleashed, and for once, it was Arc System Works leading the charge. Until reality came crashing down. Just so you know, I hate that I'm making this video. Writing this down and reading it out right now, genuinely depressing for me. But I can't sit here and pretend like I didn't have the continuous experience that I had. So let's talk about Marvel Tokon. A good fighting game that was dealt a terrible hand. But before we get into the doom and gloom, let's start with the good bits about the game. I mean, look at it. Some pretty good stuff right there. ArcSys have done it once again, making an absolutely beautiful 2.5D fighting game. With an art style that's distinct enough to look different from the rest of their catalog, but still very apparent that it is an ArcSys game. The style of the game is absolutely gorgeous. It's exactly what you would expect from a high-end ArcSys game. They've gotten so good at this style that they're literally just flexing at this point. No, I'm not fucking with you. Deadpool's moveset is filled with references to different fighting games, and not just ArcSys fighting games. There's references to everything in here. From Tekken, to Mortal Kombat, to Street Fighter, to Smash Brothers. There are so many references in this character's kit, and it's absolutely beautiful to see. Playing the game itself is also really fun. The concerns I had about controlling 4 separate characters washed away when I realized they were designed in such a way that every character can be played in a similar way for beginners. There's a lot of universal things that characters share that make them easy to pick up when you know what they are. But it's not like all of the characters play the same. It's simple stuff like 2M is a universal low, quarter circle back light, generally wall sticks and wall breaks, heavy auto combos in the air slam down the opponent, shooter assist sends out projectiles, anti-air assists go up, a lot of stuff like that. With that said, it is insane how deep these characters can go. I would say the high end of the more complicated characters is still lower than other fighting games, but characters have a surprising amount of depth that allows them to do things that no other characters can. A lot of this is thanks to their unique button, which gives them all their main mechanic. Good rule of thumb, the more you use your unique button, the crazier stuff you can do with your characters. Better players will be using characters' unique skills basically all of the time, and even better players will be using all of their characters' unique skills to create some absolutely dirty things. Whenever I look at this game's potential, it feels like I'm staring out at an ocean, just trying to figure out how characters synchronize with each other. And it makes for an extremely fun labbing experience. Speaking of things to do on your own, the offline modes are... okay, they're passable. The story mode is unique in the fact that you play as a pre-made team and get a wholly unique scenario based around those teams. Honestly, they're really nice. I love the comic book art style that every character gets. And the fact that they're all drawn in their own unique style and they all have their own unique story leads to a lot of really cool panels. The other offline modes? I mean, they're okay, I guess. It's just a lot of CPU battles. There's Arcadia Rumble, which I haven't actually checked out yet. Sort of seems like that one Smash Brothers mode where you run around and, like, power up your stats before fighting. It looks fun online, but... okay, we should probably talk about the online. For the first 5-ish days of the game being out on PC, the game was extremely broken. And I mean extremely broken. A lot of the issues that were raised in the beta just weren't fixed, and even more ones were discovered. For example, when cross-playing between PC and PS5, there was a high chance of one-sided rollback for one of the players involved, even if the PC was running the game at a smooth 60 FPS. From my personal experience, the game ran completely fine offline with 0 frame drops or stutters. Even when it started spiking my CPU usage, I thankfully was able to tank through it just simply because my machine is... well, it used to be a beast that could kill gods, but now it's just considered good. Even so, the majority of online matches that I played were an absolute fucking disaster, with it feeling like a near 50% chance that somehow the game would lag out, randomly drop frames, or have terrible rollback. The situation was so bad that even when I played against people that I know have good connections and PCs that the game can work with, it would just refuse to run correctly and would basically brick itself in online matches. I was looking forward to fighting a member of my community, shout out Ghosty, because we scrapped in one of the previous betas, and I wanted to start scrapping it out now that I have more options for my teams, but the connection was just absolutely terrible. It ran like shit. We have to call it after one round because, look at it. I basically abandoned the online of the game and decided to stream my training mode practice instead because I was actually enjoying that part of the game. I found some things that I thought were cool, but I also found out that I learned best by doing things in actual matches. If I want to improve, I have to actually fight against people, because if not, then God, I fucking suck. Oh, but they released a patch and it's completely fixed now. This is a non-issue. Yeah, about that. While the patch has remedied issues for a lot of people and is seemingly enough to win back some of the PC player base, my experience has been... honestly pretty much the same as before. The first match I played had a random slowdown in it that was absolutely massive and caused my opponent to drop their combo. It also took 3.5 minutes to get into that game. When I posted this experience to Twitter, I had people telling me that it was a me issue, and I needed to play more games, because one is not a big enough sample size. So I did. I rebooted my PC, freshly installed Tokon, booted up the game, and had one of the worst matches I've ever had in a fighting game ever. After half an hour and 4 sets, it still felt like a 50-50 chance of me getting a playable game or not. And even then, the playable games were still filled with random micro stutters or things that made the game feel off. Now, I'm sure some people are saying, oh, that's their PC issue. Just block them and move on. But that's the thing. The PC player count is dropping to the point where it's already taken me upwards of 3.5 minutes to find a single match at my rank. Hell, other content creators are having it worse. Sorry for using you for content, Sajam, but the big man Sajam waited 10 minutes for a match in ranked. 10 minutes! I don't want to have to wait that time for a fucking coin flip of a connection, only to find out it's bad, being forced to block them, and possibly diluting the pool even more. The numbers themselves don't look that bad compared to other fighting games, but remember, this is launch. It's probably just going to keep going down from here. In fact, it has kept going down. Every time I think about booting up ranked to play more of the game, I don't get excited like I do in other fighting games. I'm filled with existential dread. I don't want to have to deal with an artificial coin flip when I'm playing a video game, dude. That shit's awful. Oh, well, it's just their connection. There's always a way around it. Just give it a few weeks and direct them to the potato mod. Yeah, no, we're not even at the worst of it yet. Hi, Future Editing Gecko here. This was originally a section about how the game is basically unmoddable because any program that brushes up against it causes it to freak out with the 7 layers of protection that Sony have put upon it. TLDR, the game doesn't work with OBS and Discord streaming for some fucking reason. If you try to use anything that isn't display capture, the game starts freaking the fuck out. And it was believed, because of the amount of protections that they had on top of it, that it wasn't going to work at all with any kind of mods. But people have found seemingly a way around that and found a way to crack the game open. So Tokon will be moddable. A potato mod is probably in the works that you can direct people to. And as for the next thing, I'm going to keep this in because I don't know if it's going to be fixed or not. But if you hear me say this game is unmoddable, I accidentally left that line in. No, the game is very much moddable now. I don't know how they did it. Honestly, people are amazing. I don't know how they managed to do this. Not to mention, this means that the game is never going to work on Linux. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as disabling easy anti-cheat, which saying you should disable the anti-cheat is a crazy sentence, but don't worry about it. The game is compiled in such a way where it checks to see if Wine or Proton is interacting with it, and if it notices that it is, it fucking bricks! It is literally anti-Linux to the core! This shit was Team NVIDIA the whole time! They're gonna fucking kill Tux! Because of this, there's no way to play Marvel Tokon on a non-Windows PC, meaning Steam Deck and Steam Machine functionally are completely gone. You could technically stream them from your PS5 to your Steam Deck with something like Asobi, but that would require you to A, have a PS5, B, have a copy of Tokon for your PS5, and C, PlayStation Plus, which... fuck all of that! I play all of my games on PC. The only exception for a game that I haven't played on PC recently was Final Fantasy XVI when it came out. And with how Microsoft has been moving in the last few years, I have really wanted to move over to Linux. The holdouts were DaVinci sucking on Linux. Thanks, DaVinci. And 2XKO, which I have since pretty much waned off of. With the news that Tokon was stuck on Windows as well, though, I felt trapped. Which is supposed to be the opposite of how PC gaming works. And even then, the game barely works. I can't sit here and pretend like this isn't bumming me out. This was the fighting game that I was waiting for. I was so excited for Tokon to come out, but first impressions stick. And now, I don't even want to look at the game. I don't want to play it. I don't even want to look at this script. I have never had a release sour me on something so bad. I wish fighting games came out in better states than this, because this isn't the first fighting game that's come out in a poor state, and we've just had to suck it up and deal with it. So, I'm done. I'm not playing Tokon, and I want my money back. Still, if you're looking forward to Marvel Tokon content on this channel, tough luck, I guess. I can't really make content on a game I can't play, so sorry about that. I know it's a bummer. I got other content I'm going to be making, though. Subscribe down below to see it. There's a Strive video coming out next week, because I know that's what the people want. You want me to talk about the funny key lady and why she's bad? I also got other things I'm working on. Come over to the Twitch. We're playing some funny fucking games next week. Thank you all for watching. Sorry this video was such a bummer, but hey, if a company doesn't release that game properly, then that's what it is. Also, just as a side note, I don't think this was Arx's fault. I 100% blame Sony. Fuck Sony. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!